I'm Renee Jayne, here to illuminate truth, health, and guide you home to yourself. And in this video, we're going to talk overeating over the holidays and why so many of us seem to get sick during the holiday season. The first reason this happens is because we get so distracted. We are not in tune with the cues of our body. And let me say, for some of us, we might be in tune with the cues of our body, but we're not listening to those cues. And so that's what I want to ask you first is, why is that? Why, if you're so tired and you are so exhausted that you're not resting, you're not sleeping? And this is a whole question I'm going to get to. Why is it that when we're so overdone, we don't slow down? When we feel run down, are we front loading the good things, the good foods, the water, the vitamins, the extra sleep? And I want to get to why we might not be in just a moment. But the second reason why this happens to us over the holidays is that we're also producing a lot more adrenaline. And it's just basically because of all the extra work going on, extra stress, extra family stuff that we might be dealing with. If there's family dysfunction or there's stuff at work parties, we have a longer to-do list, higher demands, more financial obligations. So when all these things are happening, what it does is it increases our adrenaline. Our adrenaline is naturally going to be high because it's our body's way of helping us cope through all the extra deadlines and all the increased stress. So thank you, body, for doing your job. But at the same time, we need ways to move that adrenaline through us. And if we're already living in this high adrenaline state, do you know what that does? Yes, that makes us more prone to infections and viruses and getting colds. So I could stop there, but there is more. And the more is just the overload. So when we add on top of all that I've already said, the excess of the food that, the heavy foods, the dairy, the sugar, the dairy and sugar combined, huge inflammatory response to our body. And not only that, but this makes for our digestive system to be quite sluggish. And the more sluggish we get, the more inflammation we have, the more it impacts our immune system. Quick tip if you didn't know that your immune system primarily lives in your digestive system. So when we are overloaded in our digestive system, we are extra stressed, higher adrenaline, we're having more sugar, perhaps more alcohol, all the excess food. It's basically lowering our immune system down and we're setting ourselves up for getting sick. Now let's consider this. There are also, I'd say, about 5 months, I like to just call it the 5 months of crap eating. So for some people anyway, there's Halloween, there's all the sugar and stuff, there's Thanksgiving, whether you're in Canada or United States, and there's, Christmas and Hanukkah, etc. Oh, and then don't forget, we have New Year's Eve, we have all the parties and the celebrations going on. For some people, they celebrate Super Bowl with even more parties that happens in January, and then in February, there's the Hallmark holiday of Valentine's Day filled with more sugar and this deluge of heavy foods and things that have been happening for 5 months of our life. And we wonder why? Why is it that we're getting so sick? Well, it's because our immune system just can't keep up. Now, let's say that you are somebody who also happens to be a workaholic. Maybe you are pulling late nights. Maybe you've been overdoing it for a long time. Maybe you're the partier. Perhaps you've been somebody who's been overstuffing yourself or emotionally eating. You're going back for seconds on the regular. This puts you at a higher risk for getting sick because you're already somebody who's had super high adrenaline. So your adrenaline was already high. It's already taken a toll on your immune system. You're basically out of harmony going into the holidays. Now, this is not to shame you or blame you. It's just simple awareness. But I'd also say that most of humanity probably has higher adrenaline post 2020. Now that's just my opinion. I have no scientific proof of that, but I would bet that is one big reason. And it's also one of the reasons we overeat, because we are stressed. And if in our daily life we have so much rigidity and control and we're trying to keep it all together and trying to hold it all together and get all the things knocked off the to-do list so we can be perfect, then we get so overwhelmed that many of us actually use food as our solace, as our way to rebel against life. Sorry, I think I hit my mic. So maybe you haven't worked through your family of origin trauma. Maybe there's some dysfunctional stuff happening in some of your relationships. Maybe you're stressed about work or about money. Maybe you're a hypersensitive person and all the energy of all the other people and the season, maybe it's just hard for you to be social at times. And whatever the reason is, we don't have to call it good or bad or right or wrong. This is just about you helping yourself to see how that might be impacting some of your eating habits. Now, there is a huge myth around germ theory This is not the video for that. Renee, stop it. I'm not going to go into this big myth right now. I'll save it for another holidays, but it kind of gets stuffed down during the holidays, and this idea that we are just spreading germs to everyone else. Be with people. People actually can help lift you up during this time. And I know it's our responsibility to take care of our immune system. I know it's our responsibility to support our nervous system. And I also know that we sometimes need more tools to not only support our immune system and to learn how to regulate our nervous system during stressful times. So perhaps you are someone who needs more tools. Maybe you need more support. You might take time and literally look in the mirror and see, why are you always so run down? And I literally mean look in the mirror. Like sometimes just sitting and looking at your own eyes and taking a minute and assessing, like, where's my self-worth? Where am I honoring my needs? Where am I ignoring my own needs? And is this a good time of year to focus on taking extra care of myself? Yes, it absolutely is a good time to take better care of yourself. Work out more. Sweat more, prioritize yourself first, and know that everything else is going to fall into place. Front load the good supplementation, the healthy foods, the lots of extra water, get extra sleep, set a standard for when you go to bed, have good minerals coming into your body. And instead of waiting for something out there that's going to go away, or for the stress to go away, or for it to all be over so you can just get to the other side and then finally enjoy life, realize that that very thinking is part of your biggest problem. Is that when we're waiting for something to be over so then we can finally enjoy our life, that we're actually just going to be waiting for the rest of our lives. Our job here is to be with the emotions. It's to be with our body. It's to be with our system as it is right now, and to notice why you're allowing yourself to get shut down or overwhelmed by life, and why perhaps it's time for you to slow down a little bit. And if I can be of any support to you as a coach or as a teacher, please check out my offerings, which are located below this video. If you like this video, please do me a favor and like the video. If you have a comment, you can leave a comment and then subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.